just for fun.
Recording in progress.
So let's see what we want to do today. Let's start with Act Naturally, Ringo Starr. And we're going to continue with some of the stuff we were doing 2 weeks ago. And I'll explain that momentarily. Momentito. I have a friend who's taken Spanish classes, and so it gives me a chance to stun with my mastery of Spanish. Absolutely crazy. So, and I think I'll go ahead and put up the OUJ action cam as long as we're kind of hanging out here, because I want to show a couple. Oh, I got to do that too, don't I? Yeah, I got to do that. Then I got to do that. For you folks at home who think, how tiny is Bob? I'm pretty tiny, but I can be bigger. And there's that. And now, how about that OUJ action cam? Where'd you go? That's not what we want. That's what we want. Hey, look at that. We get a full picture this time instead of me having to stand up and show you my belly button. So, if you look at the format of this song, go down the whole song, I think every single chord has two measures. Every single chord. 2 measures of C, 2 measures of F, 2 measures of C, 2 measures of D7, 2 measures of G7, 2 measures of everything. Unless I stop the second measure with the first beat and do a tap, tap, tap. Everything's got 2 measures, which lends itself to doing something different with every second measure. So, for example, start out with G7. Second measure, let's take it up to the giant G7. And just to review, that's taking your G7 form, all the same figures on all the same strings, but pushing it out to the 3rd and 5th frets. So instead of open 2, 1, 2, you've got open 5, 3, 5. So it's a stretched out G7. A really nice way to give a different G7 tone when you've got 2 measures. So we do G7, nice and slow, push it out. Oh, that's pretty. Then we've got C. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a finger right over the top of my ring finger and create a C5. So we've got a first measure of C. Throw in another finger. Open, open, 3, 3. Very nice. Then we've got 2 different forms of D7. I'm a big fan of when you're going from C to D7 is just leaving your ring finger in place, and however you play your bar D7, maybe you use your index finger and you clamp down with your middle finger. Maybe you use your middle finger. Maybe you don't like doing that at all, but the beauty of having 2 different forms of D7 is you can go from D7 for your first measure and jump up and get another tone for the 2020 D7. That's kind of fun. And then you're back to G7. Stretch it out. Tap, tap, tap. And then you've got C there. Add a finger. Put me in the movies. Now we're back to F and adding our pinky so that our pinky doesn't atrophy. So on each and every one of these, we've got G7, stretch G7. We've got C, add a finger to C. We've got D7, bar D7, or I think I did bar D7 and then 2020. And now we've got F, add a pinky. That may seem like a lot to think about, but You only have to do, you don't have to do it for both measures. And in every case, we're doing our normal shape for the chord on the first measure, and then we're switching on the second measure. Now with D7, if you don't borrow your D7, then that obviously is not your normal shape. I'm just going to encourage you to keep working on that barred D7 because it comes in handy in many places. So let's do this nice and slow on the intro. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stretch it out. Back to C. Add a finger. D7. Switch position. G7. Stretch it out. Tap, tap, tap. C. Gonna add a finger. In the movies, add a pinky. See, they're gonna make add a finger out of me. Stretch it out. We'll go back to C and we'll add a finger. And then F, add a pinky. G7, stretch it out. And back to C. Add a finger. How about that? That's kind of an interesting way to, all of a sudden it seemed like a 3-chord song and all of a sudden it's a 6 or a 7 or an 8-chord song. Anyway, anybody have questions? So we'll play through it, and I think I'll go at that pace. That's about, I don't know, 0.75, 3/4 speed, maybe 4/5, maybe 80% speed. They're gonna put me in the movie. Yeah, maybe it's 8/10 of speed when we're doing. They're gonna, but you're learning new chords and new positions for your fingers and also. So we won't worry about that so much. Maybe we'll bring back the regular view and we'll do that. And there we go. So let's do this. 1, G7, 2, 3, 4. Stretch it out. Back to C. Add a finger. Bar it. Switch it up. G7 and stretch it out for me. 2, 3. There. Add a finger, gonna put me in the movies. Where's your pinky? They're gonna make a big star out of me. We'll make a film about a man that's sad and lonely. Where's that pinky? And all I gotta do is stretch it out naturally. Well, I bet you I'm gonna be a big star. Might win an Oscar. You can never tell. I forgot to stretch that out, sorry. The movie's gonna make me a big star. 'Cause I can play the part so well. Stretch it out. Well, I hope you come add a finger in the movies, pinky time. Then I'll know add a finger you will plainly see. The biggest fool that ever hit the big time. All I gotta do is act naturally. G7, C, C5, almost missed. That's kind of nice. Did miss. We'll make the scene about a man that's sad and lonely, begging down upon his bended knee. I'll play the part, but I won't need rehearsing. All I have to do is act naturally. Well, I bet you I'm gonna be a big star. Might win an Oscar, you can never tell. The movies are gonna make me a big star, 'cause I can play the part so well. Well, I hope you come and see me in the movies. Then I'll know that you will plainly see the biggest fool that ever hit the big time. And all I gotta do is act naturally. Aw, that wasn't too shabby. Now some of those G7s, the second G7, I would tend to make those into stops. I'd tend to do. We'll make the scene, and I can play the part so well. And count it out and start the next section. But, you get the idea. So it's just kind of taking the chords that you're super familiar with and giving them a little boost, a little more interest. That's the concept anyway. Conceptually, that's the conceptual. Let's take a look at old Tom Paxton. We don't play this enough, my humble opinion. I don't know that we played it more than once or twice at our jams. I think I was introduced to this by Nancy Griffith in her Other Voices, Other Rooms album, CD. Tom Paxton does a great version. Many great covers of it. But Nancy Griffith is always my favorite. What are we going to do here? Well, we've got 2 measures of C. Let's keep the learning going with a C5 on that second measure. You can add your pinky on that F. It goes by pretty quickly. If you're not thinking about it, if you think about it, you might get it down on the 3rd beat. If you're not thinking about it, you might get it down on the 4th beat. No big deal there. D minor, we know D minor. It's just F with a nice close friend. G. Yeah, I tend to, on most of my Fs now, I tend to throw that C note in somewhere as I'm strumming. Usually on the up, down. Either if it's down, down, up, up, down. I'm usually on that first up, down, down, add, down, down, add. If it's down, down, up, down, up, down, up, after that first down, up. So for the second down, up, so it's down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Somewhere in there. I don't think it makes a difference. It's just nice to have another tone. But then again, you got the C again, and a C stop, and you can add that second finger on the C stop. It's a long and a dusty ad road I think that C5 sounds good with the lyric road, the melody, whatever that note is. Probably a C. Road, it's a hard and a heavy load. And the folks that I meet ain't always kind. Add a finger. Yeah, that's all I'm doing in this whole song is I'm adding that C note on the F when I remember, and I'm switching the second C when there's two measures of C together. I'm switching that second C to a open, 3/3 or C5. How does that work? C5. Let me see. C, D, E, F, G. C5, G. Maybe that means when you're putting that extra finger in there, you're adding a G note. What? That's exactly what's happening. Okay. You do 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then the chorus. You do 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and then the chorus. You do the instrumental after all of those twos and that chorus. So this instrumental down at the bottom. We'll do that after the second verse and the second chorus. Then you do 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and a chorus, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, and a chorus twice. And then you end with a C stop. So that's not too hard. You're intelligent people. I won't tell anyone if you jump from a 1 to a 2 or a 2 to a 3 or something odd happens along the way, because it's likely to happen to me. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Adding a finger. It's long and a dusty road, a hot and a heavy load, and the folks that I meet ain't always kind. Some are bad, some are good, some have done the best they could, some have tried to ease my troubled mind. I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound. 2, been wandering around this land, just a doing the best I can, trying to find what I was meant to do. And the people that I see look as worried as can be, and it looks like they are wandering too. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound. We're in the instrumental. I had a little girl one time. She had lips like sherry wine. I loved her till my head went plumb insane. But I was too blind to see she was drifting away from me. And my good gal went off on the morning train. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound. If you see me passing by and you sit, you wonder why. If you wish that you were rambling too, nail your shoes to the kitchen floor, lace them up and bar the door. Thank your stars for the roof that's over you. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound. One more time. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. I can't help but wonder where I'm bound. Aw, Tom Paxton, Nancy Griffith. Just adding that G note on that C. That is just such a nice change from a normal C. Not that we don't love all our C notes. We love all our C notes, but it is kind of a nice little add there. Really simple move you can make to spruce up your folk singing. Okay, now, oh, do you have seat belts? Fasten your seat belts. I don't know if you have seat belts. Oh yeah, we might need the action cam for this. We might need the action cam. Do. Okay, at no time do my fingers leave my hands. Down, down, up. Pinky. Down, down, up. That's pretty good. Down, down, up, down, up, down, up. What? So you've got 2 beats. F dot, 2 beats, dot, apostrophe and a dot, 2 more beats. So I'm doing down, down, up for the first 2 beats. Then I'm adding my pinky for the next 2 beats. And you've still got F, but you got 4 beats. So 8 beats altogether, but still got F. And we want to give this second set of 4 beats a little bit different feel. So instead of going down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, we're going to go down, down, up, down, up with the C. Then down, down, up, down, up, down, up. And we're going to add that pinky. We've been practicing, so we have the muscle memory to do this now. So it's down, down, up, add, down, up, down, up, add. We get it all over again. And we do that all over again. So let's go to the intro. So then on the F7, we're already forming an F, so we just put a nice little friend. It's not as close of a friend as a D minor. It's an acquaintance. We're going to add an acquaintance to make an F7. Down, down, up on the 3-fingered F7. Add a pinky. Same pattern, same structure, down, down, up. Add a pinky, down, down, up. Then down, down, up, pinky. what are we going to do with that B flat? We can always substitute in G minor 7, open 2, 1, 1. And I understand some of you may just be wanting to play the G minor 7 well without doing anything to it. So we can do two things, one of two things. Dealer's choice. Well, one of three things. One, don't play, sit this one out. Two, that's not funny, Bob. Two, you can add a pinky to your G minor 7. Same place. You're just adding a C note to your G minor 7. Or, you can tell I'm getting excited here, or take that G minor 7, chuck it in the ocean, whoosh, return with a G form on the 5th fret. Oh, what? So a few things to play around with there. Let's see what we're going to do here. Let's do the intro. 1, nice and slow. 1, 2. See if you can remember what I was talking about 5 minutes ago. Now that I've stunned you with that whole B flat on the 5th fret thing. 1, F7. We could do something with G7. It was C7. We could take that G minor 7 shape and put it on the 3rd fret. We know we always have that option. But you may be wanting to concentrate on just one thing at a time. Maybe that F. If you get that, maybe you want to add the F7. And maybe that's, that's plenty. And you just want to hit that G minor 7 and do it well. And back to the F. But for those who are always wanting more, that's C7. So I'm doing C7, down, down, up. Down, down, up. And then I'm going with the G minor 7 shape on the 3rd fret. For my down, down, up, down, up, down, up, and back to F. So that B flat on the 5th, or that G form on the 5th, is an optional chord shape for B flat. And it's really nice for those who are struggling with trying to do a B flat up here on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd frets and not able to push your fingers down. That form that you're familiar with, that G form. So what is that? Open 5, 6, 5. That's a really nice option because the strings generally are easier to push down right in the middle of the neck there. So it's kind of a nice way to go. So who's got questions before we shock the world? We'll take it nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. I tell you, Johnny Cash never played it like this. Hear the train a-comin', it's rollin' round the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on. But that train keeps a-rollin' on down to San Antone. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with guns. But I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. When I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and cry. There's rich folks eating in a fancy dining car. They're probably drinking coffee and smoking big cigars. Well, I know I had it coming. I know I can be free. But those people keep a-moving, and that's what tortures me. Free me from this prison. If the railroad train was mine, I bet I'd move it out a little further down the line, far from Folsom Prison. That's where I want to stay. And I'd let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away. Hear the train a-comin', it's rollin' around the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when, and I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on. But that train keeps a-rollin' on down to San Antone. Now, you know, of course, Johnny Cash never played it like that. We will probably never play it like that in a jam. So what is the point, Bob? Get to the point already. Oh, I know what I was going to do. So, the point is to give you that muscle memory of adding your pinky to the C note in different circumstances, and to try, when you've got that open C string and you're playing other chords, try adding that C note once in a while. Or, whatever the chord might be. Maybe you're up here. I think this is a C6. What is this? 5, 4, 3. That's kind of pretty. B flat major 7 is... so what happens if you're playing B flat major 7 on some song? What happens if you had a C? I don't know. That's kind of cute. Or the C6, which is 5, 4, 3 open. You've got that open C string. What happens if you put your pinky down there on the first string, 5th fret? I don't know. In the context of the song that you're playing, maybe that would be kind of cool. I don't know. But it's to get that pinky moving and active and using it in different places. And the B flat, understanding that the B flat can be played in different places. So, and that's a pretty cool tone. That G on the 5th fret is a pretty cool tone. So you may never play Folsom Prison Blues again, but you are going to have many, many opportunities to try and add. Oh, look at you, Ray Charles. You're kind of crowding the space there. Hopefully you can see all of that. Hopefully you can see all that. You're going to have lots of opportunities to add that pinky in when all of your other fingers are already in place, and all of a sudden you can add a different tone. So that's great. Guess what we get to do? Diminish chords. Do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Diminish chords. Yes, we do. We've been adding that pinky, so what are we going to do when we're playing an F? We're going to add a pinky, and then we're going to switch all our fingers and add a G over the top of the pinky. And that's what we're going to do. So let's take a look at this thing. Let's go to the action cam. So, just a really simple down, up, down. That's your 2 beats of C. And maybe you don't even hit the up. Maybe it's just 2 down strum, F. Yeah, mostly I am hitting it on the up, but it doesn't matter. G7, A minor. You could do a giant G7. Oh, that's gilding the lily. Georgia, 2, 3, 4, E7. Georgia. The whole day through. You got a diminished chord coming. That first beat of your F, you want to add the pinky for the second beat. Because on that third beat, all of a sudden you got the diminished chord. So that's Georgia, back at the top. Georgia. The whole day. Where's that pinky? Nice, just an old sweet song. D minor keeps Georgia on my mind. You already have your index finger planted, so there's no reason why you can't slide it out to the 3rd fret and do a giant G7 there. Ray Charles would like that a lot. So that's a thought there. Now remember, on your diminished chords, you do not have to play all 4 strings. So if this whole idea of F, add a pinky for a C, rearrange your fingers into a G shape and just plant it right above. If that is like, okay, that's rocket science, just play your G7. The bottom 3 fingers are a G7 form. Look at that. Look at that. It's just a G7 form on the 2nd fret. So when you're playing, what is you're playing? Your F. Your index finger is almost in the right place. Push it forward. Drop your 2 fingers in. And just play a G7. Or if you like that G form, then play a G up on top And don't worry about that pinky. So you have options. You don't need to be wed to what the chart says. And I absolutely have to play a C diminished because that's what it says. No, you don't. Bob said I don't have to, so I don't have to. Now, I said, second section, I said, Georgia, E7. Now remember how I said I love, you're playing a C, and you go to D7, and you just plop your finger in there. And it's a really simple transition. If you are barring your D7, there's no reason why you can't bar an E7. So you're playing your C, and you look up and you see E7, take that C and take it to the 5th fret and drop those fingers into the 4th fret. Georgia. So it would sound like this. Georgia, Georgia, a song of you. Have you decided what you're going to do about that diminished chord? Because now's your time. Come sweet and clear as moonlight through the pines. High E7 or low E7. Either one sounds beautiful. And then this other section here, this other arms. Other arms reach out for me. Other eyes smile tenderly. I did 2-0-2-0 there. You could do a barred D7. Either one, don't matter. Tenderly, still in peaceful dreams I see the road. Oh, G diminished. So up here, not up here, but up here, between the first and the second section, I found a place to plop down the 2 diminished shapes. And that's just open 1, open 1. Oh, that's so sweet. Let me see, where are we at? I don't know. The second line, still in peaceful dreams. Yeah, there it is, still in peaceful. Yes. Still in peaceful dreams I see the road leads back to you. Ooh, ooh. Now your G augmented. I know your head's going to explode, but I'm going to take it out of explosion mode right now. Okay. D minor, G augmented. Exact same shape. You're playing D minor, you're going to G augmented. Keep all those fingers all in the same shape and just move your index finger down to that first string, 2nd fret, and you got it. But let's just make that our acoustic moment. D minor, G augmented, D minor, and OUJ acoustic moment, G augmented, D minor, G augmented. But check this out. This is crazy. The real note here, the key note is that B note, that first string, 2nd fret. If you play G augmented, you end up with that B note. If you play G, you play that B note. If you play G7, you play that B note. So, let's see. Let's go, the road leads back to you. A minor, the road leads back to you. 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to play G instead of G augmented. 1, 2, 3, 4. The road leads back to you. That sounds great. I'm going to play G7 this time. The road leads back to you. 1, 2, 3, 4. The road leads back to you. Ooh, ooh. Ah, that sounds great. G augmented is a cool chord. We play it in a few songs. It's kind of like a diminished chord. You just don't see it that often. And so there are other options. G and G7, which you're very, very familiar with, are perfectly good options. So, now let's look at that G diminished. What happens if you can't remember G diminished? What happens if you do A7 there, or C7? You know, you're doing an A7 up here and a C7 down here. What happens if you do one or the other? Let's find out. Let's find out. Let me see. I'll do the road leads back. On back, I'm going to do A7. 2, 3, 4. The road leads back. That sounds just fine. Let's try C7. 1, 2, 3, 4. The road leads back to you. Ooh. I don't like C7. There was something off there. But A7 sounded just great. So there's something to think about there. If you have a real problem remembering what your augmented chords are when you bump up against them and you forgot to check the chord diagrams, it's time to go through all your chord charts and start changing those chords to other chords like A7. Okay, that's the whole song. Let's do a playthrough. Wait a second, there might be questions. Let's not do a playthrough. Let's wait out the Q&A. Let's wait out that Q&A stuff. Time to pause for Dole Pineapple commercial break. See, you have your C diminished. You know what you're going to do there. Play a G7 shape. Get that C note down, your pinky down early, and play the whole diminished chord. Okay. Play G7 over the top. That's possible. 1, 2, 3, 4. Giant G7. Georgia, Georgia, the whole day through, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. I'm going up top. Think about what to say and then how to execute it, and that put me about a beat behind. 1, 2, 3. I said Georgia, Georgia, a song for you, a song of you, come sweet and clear as moonlight through the pines. Did it again. I'm sitting there thinking, should I do a regular E7 or a high E7? I'm not ready to make the move. 2, 3, 4. Other arms reach out for me. Other eyes smile tenderly. Still and peaceful dreams I see. The road leads back to you. Georgia, Georgia, no peace I find, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind, on my mind, on my mind, on my mind. Dreams I see, the road leads back to you. Which G did you use? 2, 3, 4. I said Georgia, Georgia. No peace I find, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Slide it up to the third. Ah, I released my bottom of my bar there, and it wasn't quite as good as it should have been. So what did we do there? We did on my mind. G minor 7, rest. Slide it up to the 3rd fret. For really, it's a C7 shape, but in this context, it works just great and sounds really good. So there you go. What happens if you do? Let's not worry about that, Bob. That's okay. That's plenty. That's plenty to think about right there. With the augmented chords and all that hoo-ha. Well, so sorry to have missed Sway last time. So let's do it this time. Got 15 minutes to kill, which means it'll take me 25 minutes to go through it. Let's see what we got. Oh, look at that. Same diminished chord. How about that for muscle memory? But it's called something different. What is with that? Wait a second. That was G diminished. Now it's called B flat diminished. Here's the interesting thing about diminished chords. I'm almost out way over the top of my ski tips, but I can explain this part. Is that with a diminished chord, whatever notes, the 4 notes that are in the chord, you can call it any one of those 4 notes. So it was a minute ago, it was G diminished, and that's because the top string that's open is your G string, and so it's G diminished. B flat diminished, that's your bottom string where you play your C7, that's a B flat note. It's got an open E string, so we could call it E diminished, and you're going to see it as E diminished in some contextuals. And then what's this little thing where you play the A7? A7 is a chord, it's not a note. So that's the C 3rd string. So 1 step in is either C sharp, 2 steps in is D or D flat. So it could be D flat diminished, it could be C sharp diminished. So that could have 4, that shape. Open 1 could have 4 different names. No extra charge for that. That's just the kind of guy I am. So, where were we? Don't ask me why. I would just start songs out with like Hit the Road Jack or Stray Cat Strut, just to get the feel of the song and some of the chords in the song. We would just hit them each twice in the intro, and that's what's happening here. You got B flat diminished, open 1. Flip around to D minor, A7 twice. I guess with D minor you could just slide your hand over. A little bit awkward. And then back to D minor. And then the idea behind the bracketed chords is you play that open 1, and you remove the bottom of that B flat diminished chord on the up. So if you're doing down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, you remove the bottom of that bracketed chord to reveal that A7. And then back to D minor. A7, you know I like to come in late on my A7s because it gives it that hammer. Okay, so that's the basic, we've got C7s and Fs, we've got a B flat in there, which I'll probably play as a G minor 7, of course, and an A. So let's go through the first verse. When marimba rhythms start to play, pull off that bottom finger, put it back on, dance, pull it off with me, make me sway. Like the lazy ocean hugs the pull it off, hold me off, sway me more. Let's do that in some kind of context. 2, 3, 4. When marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sway. Like the lazy ocean hugs the shore, hold me close, sway me more. It says stop mute, so I'm hoping you'll hit it. And then you've got your pinky there, which can be used for more things than the first string, 3rd fret. It can just be laid down nice and softly on the strings to mute them. It's kind of fun. If you're ever in an argument with a significant other and your ukulele is in your hands, just do this. And give it kind of the dopey face. It really cements the argument. Shut up, Bob. Okay. Second verse, exact same as the first. You end up with that D minor stop. Other dancers may be on the floor, dear, but my eyes will see only you. This is true love. Only you have that now A7 magic technique. When we sway, I grow. Now, you got your G minor 7, or you could go up to the 5th. If you go up to the 5th, you got a long way to get back down to that A. So let's do that. Other dancers may be on the floor. Sway with me. 1, 2, 3. Other dancers may be on the floor, dear, but my eyes will see only you. Only you have that magic technique. When we sway, I grow weak. The beauty of the G minor 7 or the B flat. If it's B flat, you just take your 2 fingers at the top and just slide them back into the A position. If it's G minor 7, your middle finger is in the right spot to just slide it over and add your ring finger for a really smooth transition to the A. And that's that. Now, Bob, how are you going to waste 10 more minutes? It's not a waste. This is important. This is important stuff. 2 things. This played really well with a fan strum. Down, fan, up, down, fan, up, down, fan, up, down. When I send out the replay, I'm going to, if I remember to record, I'm going to, that's a good thing to remember right about now. An hour later, if I remember to record, I'm going to send out Aldrin Guerrero's 2 minutes on the fan strum. But there's 4 different approaches to the fan strum. First approach, of course, is don't do it. Second approach is and I'm in the context of this song, I'm doing the fan on the second beat. Down, fan, up, down, fan, up, down. Second approach is just tap some of your strings for that first down strum. Don't worry about a big full down strum. Bounce back, and then you just rub your thumb. Tap, rub, tap, rub, just running your thumb right across the strings. That's one approach. The second approach is you do the same thing, tap, but you're tapping with your index finger, tap, and you're rubbing with the nail of your index finger. Sometimes I'll follow with my thumb to give it an extra oomph. But you want a little bit of a drag to get that percussive sound across all four strings. The traditional fan strum, though, number 3, is you do pinky, ring, middle, index. Pinky, ring, middle, index. So you did down, broop, broop. You don't have to do that. Broop. Pinky. And that's why it looks like a fan and why it's called a fan. Because it looks like you're opening a fan. Like if, yeah. So in context like that B flat diminished A7, D minor, A7, so you can see sometimes I sound real good, sometimes I don't. I'm no fan expert, which is why I'm going to send you L Dreams. This is like an intro to the fan strum, but there are a bunch of people on the web who are just dying for you to watch their videos and to practice the fan strum the way they teach it. So if you really like it, and I think it's a great part of your strumming repertoire, then there's lots of material out there to study. Now, last but not least, there. See, I've wasted 7 minutes. I mean, I have invested 7 minutes in our mutual education. Last but not least, so I'm doing like a D minor stop at the end of the intro, right? And then I'm doing a cappella, when marimba rhythms. But you can mute and then do a percussive strum for the, just keep the strum going, but percussively, so to keep your time, so you know exactly where you're at timing-wise. Sometimes the lyric helps you with your timing, sometimes it doesn't, and you've got to be tapping your foot, or you have to have an internal metronome. Some of us are good at that, some of us are not. And so if you keep the strum going, but you do it percussively like that, number one, you sound like one of the cool kids. And number two, it keeps your timing going because you're just continuing your strum. So you would do, let's see, at the intro, we would go B flat diminished, D minor twice, A7 twice, D minor twice. Then your strum starts. When marimba rhythms start. So I'm strumming right through the lyric as if I was playing one of those chords. You could play D minor there. It's your private, humble abode, so you do whatever you want. But last but not least, we get to the end. Second to last line. Make me thrill as only you know how. Sway me smooth, sway me now. You know how. Sway me smooth, sway me now. D minor belongs with that chord diagram. And it's played like a B minor up on the 5th fret. You can just bar the 5th fret, and that's D minor 7, and that sounds great. If you can throw a finger up there on that first 4th string 7th fret, then more power to you, but it's not necessary. None of it's necessary. I mean, you can do a stop, rest, rest, and do down, up, down on the D minor that you're already holding. But like with a lot of the other things we've been doing today, where you have a second position for a chord, it's kind of fun to have a different tone. So you come while you're doing that, 2, 3, 4, down, up, down. Okay, who's got questions? We have time. We have time. It's stunning. 1, 2, 3, 4. D minor. A7. D minor. Here we go. When marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sway, like the lazy ocean hugs the shore. Hold me close, sway me more, like a flower bending in the breeze. Bend with me, sway with ease. When you dance, we have a way with me. Stay with me, sway with me. Other dancers may be on the floor, dear, but my eyes will see only you. Only you have that magic technique. When we sway, I grow weak. I can hear the sound of violins long before it begins. Make me thrill as only you know how. Sway me smooth, sway me now. Other dancers may be on the floor, dear, but my eyes will see only you. Only you have that magic technique. When we sway, I grow weak. I can hear the sound of violins long before it begins. Make me thrill as only you know how. Sway me smooth, sway me now. You know how. Sway me smooth, sway me now. Let's try that again. You know how. Sway me smooth, sway me now. That's not bad. That's not bad. You see that on the replay. Let me see what I'm trying to do there. I'm trying to do a sway me now and hit D minor one extra time with a mute and then a scratch. Mute and a scratch. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's the timing. D minor for 4 beats. One more time. 2, 3, 4. There we go. There we go. Da, 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 da. Is that it? Is that all there is? Oh my goodness. What a great way to spend a Tuesday. How's everybody doing out there? All good? all skating. I'm going to turn my original sound off. Just say hello to everybody. Nice to see you, Pat. Thanks for joining us. Susan, always a pleasure. Everybody else, love you dearly, of course. And no questions. I didn't look at chat. There is something in chat. It says, Bob, quit talking so much. Oh, no, it says, thanks, Bob. Love that song. Okay. All right. I don't know which song it was. It must have been one of the 5 songs that we're doing today. That's my current guess. Yeah. Okay. Great to see you all. That's it. That's the
Thanks for another excellent lesson, Bob.
Well,
that was just excellent.
Well, hopefully that gave you enough for some nightmares. So there you go.
Oh yeah, it'll take me a while.
Great music.
Right
Thank
on.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. I mean, it's good to focus on those alternatives,
Yeah, absolutely.
you know, so you might think of using them more often.
Exactly. Extra spice,
Yeah.
extra spice for to mix metaphors, extra spice for the grist mill. Great to see you guys. Ciao bella.
Thank you, Bob.
I'm
Thank
gonna
you,
watch
Bob.
your governor tonight, Jane.
Oh, we are so
I'm
excited
gonna watch
here.
him.
You gotta be.
Oh yeah, it's like waking up to a dream these days
You
instead
gotta
of
be
the usual
jumping.
nightmare.
He seems like a real sweetheart.
He's a wonderful man.
Jumping out of your
Yeah.
shorts.
Yeah.
I know there was something here. There it is, all the way up there.
We've never seen him be so happy and cheerful because he's always been working on something like daily COVID reports and this and that and other problems. You know, he's very good about communicating with the public here. And this is the first time I've seen him just so joyous.
He's a rock star.
It's infectious.
Yeah. Great to see you all.
Yeah.
I'll end the
Watching
meeting.
it.
Have a great
Yeah.
day.